Welcome to the deep dive. We plunge into these fascinating worlds, don't we? Cutting edge tech, emerging markets. We really try to give you that shortcut, to being properly well informed. And today we're tackling the nanowire-based device market. Now, when we talk about nanowire devices, it sounds complex, but we're really looking at tiny, tiny components, super powerful. Think things like incredibly sensitive medical sensors or much more efficient electronics. For anyone maybe less familiar, nanowires are they're essentially these tiny one-dimensional structures, just a few nanometers thick, like incredibly fine strands, almost down to the atomic level. And their unique properties, fantastic conductivity, huge surface area, stuff like that, they make them real game changers. For everything from, say, super efficient solar cells to ultra-sensitive biosensors, we're drawing on a pretty detailed market report today that really lays out this incredible growth story. And incredible really is the word, just to set the stage. Globally, this market pulled in, what, 1,447.33 million in sales revenue back in 2021, but that's just the starting point, right?
Exactly. And what's fascinating here isn't just that initial scale, though that's impressive enough. It's how quickly this market is set to expand. It really hints at some foundational shifts in technology happening. That figure you mentioned is really just the beginning of this, robust upward trajectory. By 2033, the projection is 5,321.02 million.
Wow.
Yeah. That represents a compound annual growth rate, a CAGR, of 11.46%. And these aren't just abstract numbers. They reflect really strong demand, expanding applications, transformative applications, actually all around the world.
Okay, right. Let's unpack that a bit then. When you see these huge global numbers, where are the hotspots? Which regions, which countries are really, leading the charge in this growth story? What's making them stand out?
That's a great question. Because, it's not just one uniform global growth pattern. You see these diverse innovation hubs. So if we start with North America, it's a perfect example of how established tech regions are leveraging these nanowire capabilities. It's not just the raw market size, which was already pretty substantial, $405.657 million back in 2021, but it's the quality of the innovation that's pushing it towards, get this, $521.2 million by 2033.
1,500 million. Okay.
Yeah, boasting a CAGR of nearly 11.6%. Pretty strong.
So what's behind that specifically in North America? Is it new products hitting the market, or is it more about deeper integration, getting into existing industries?
It's a bit of both, actually. You look at the United States, for example, a major player, obviously. It's projected to hit over $1 billion in sales by 2033. That's up from $292.365 million in 2021.
Big jump.
Huge. And what's really fueling this is intense investment, particularly in next-gen medical diagnostics and high-performance computing. These are areas where nanowires are just revolutionizing sensitivity, processor speed. So it's not just growth. It's a fundamental shift, what becomes possible for things like early disease detection or faster data processing. Canada's also on a strong path, forecast to reach about $182 million by 2033, driven a lot by its biotech sector. But interestingly, Mexico is actually leading the regional charge in terms of growth rate.
Really?
Yeah, surprising CAGR of 13.154%. It's set to grow from about $62 million in 2021 to nearly $297 million by 2033. And that seems to be largely down to increasing foreign direct investment in advanced manufacturing, plus a growing domestic R&D focus, especially on environmental sensors and solar energy.
That's really interesting about Mexico's acceleration. Okay, but North America isn't the only engine here. Let's pivot across the Atlantic. Europe. It presents its own compelling story, right? It had a market value of, $357.779 million in 21. And its trajectory looks equally impressive, set to climb over $1.35 billion by 2033. That's a CEGR of about 11.66%. So what makes Europe's growth unique, considering its diverse economies?
Europe's growth, I think, is really a testament to its strong research infrastructure and its focus on industrial applications. You see robust figures across various countries. The UK, for instance, projected to grow from around $35 million to $138 million by 2033. A lot of that seems fueled by its thriving academic research scene, quantum computing, advanced materials. Germany and France are also significant contributors, both showing CAGRs over 11.5%, driven heavily by their strong automotive and industrial IoT sectors. Nanowires are enhancing sensor precision there, battery efficiency too. And you see this strong, consistent growth across the continent. Italy, Russia, Spain, all reporting impressive double-digit annual growth rates. They're integrating nanowire tech into things like smart city initiatives and energy grids.
Okay, so if North America is maybe leading in medical and computing, Europe seems to be really embracing the industrial and infrastructure side. Makes sense. And now let's shift focus again. Asia Pacific. valued at $251.5 million in 2021, heading towards nearly $880 million by 2033. The CAGR there is just over 11%. What's driving growth in such a vast and, well, diverse region?
Oh, the Asia-Pacific region is absolutely critical, particularly because of its enormous manufacturing capabilities, right?
Yeah.
And the rapidly expanding consumer electronics market there. China is a huge market, naturally, expected to more than triple its sales from about $56 million in 2021 to $193 million by 2033. This is largely driven by its focus on advanced display technologies, flexible electronics, areas where nanowires offer just unparalleled performance. Japan and India are also key drivers. Both are on track for substantial increases. They're investing heavily in wearable tech, environmental monitoring solutions,
Right, those make sense.
and South Korea, Taiwan, also growing steadily, contributing to the region's overall expansion, especially in semiconductors and telecommunications.
Okay, moving beyond those sort of established giants, South America, it's demonstrating its own formidable potential. Posted $132.8 million in 2021, projected to reach nearly $480 million by 2033. That's an 11.3% CGR. What specific needs or sectors are pulling nanowire adoption forward in that part of the world?
South America's growth is particularly interesting. It really highlights how nanowires are addressing unique regional challenges. Brazil is the standout there, moving from about $52 million to over $182 million by 2033.
Okay.
Its growth is significantly tied to the agricultural sector. Nanowire-based sensors are being used to optimize crop yield, monitor soil health with unprecedented accuracy.
Ah, practical applications.
Exactly. And Argentina, Colombia,
Huh?
they're also contributing significantly. KGR is over 11.4%, 11.7%, often focusing on resource exploration, infrastructure development. So it's clear the demand is surging right across the continent, finding these specific niches where the tech provides really tangible benefits.
That's a powerful example, the agricultural one. Okay, now the Middle East, also showing exciting figures. Revenues of about $75 million in 2021, expected to rise to $277 million by 2033, an 11.5% CAGR. This region is undergoing a lot of economic diversification, we know that. How does nanowire tech fit into that picture?
The Middle East is definitely one to watch. Very proactive adoption of new technologies as part of those diversification efforts. Saudi Arabia is a major market, projected to more than triple its 2021 sales by 2033. Its growth is deeply linked to those large-scale smart city projects like NEOM.
Right, NEOM.
Exactly, which require cutting-edge sensor networks, advanced energy solutions. Nanowires fit perfectly. The UAE is also showing strong growth. But interestingly, Qatar actually leads the entire region in growth rate. Yes, an impressive CAGR of just over 12%, projected to go from about $3 million to over $12.5 million by 2033. This sort of surprising leadership seems to be thanks to very targeted investments in sustainable energy and advanced infrastructure, leveraging nanowires for things like better solar panels and water purification systems.
Fascinating. And finally, let's touch on Africa. Recorded $224.8 million in 2021. By 2033, forecasted to hit $810 million, maintaining an 11.3% CAGR, quite similar to South America. What does this robust growth tell us about the broader technological embrace happening on the continent?
Africa presents a really dynamic landscape, actually. It demonstrates how essential these technologies can be for rapidly developing economies. Nigeria is a significant market, expected to grow from about $73 million to over $253 million by 2033. Here, the drive often seems to be mobile technology and off-grid energy solutions, areas where nanowire batteries and sensors are improving efficiency, accessibility. South Africa also shows substantial growth, projected to exceed $283 million by 2033, with a CAR close to 11.6%, fueled by its mining sector, expanding telecommunications. Really, the whole continent seems to be embracing this technology. You see consistent and widespread adoption across diverse applications: healthcare, agricultural monitoring, energy. So yeah, the overarching takeaway here is it's crystal clear, really. The market for nanowire-based devices is just on this strong, consistent upward trajectory everywhere. What's truly remarkable is seeing that every single region, every country analyzed in this report shows a double-digit GIDR. It's driven by this confluence of specific, real-world applications meeting technological advancements.
Right. And here's where it gets really interesting, I think, when we start thinking about what these numbers actually mean for our everyday lives. This growth, it isn't just about impressive figures on a chart, is it? It's fueled by constant tech innovation, more and more diverse applications popping up, and just rapidly increasing global adoption. When I look at these numbers, especially that kind of acceleration you mentioned in places like Mexico or Qatar, it genuinely makes me curious. Like, what specific real-world changes are actually happening on the ground that these figures represent? What are we seeing now, or maybe what will we see soon in our daily lives that's directly tied to this boom?
That's the perfect way to frame it. If we connect this to the bigger picture, it really raises an important question for you, the listener, to consider. Given this robust, widespread growth, what specific real-world problems do you think nanowire devices are poised to solve next? Think about tangible changes. The tech we use every day. Could it be a smartphone that charges in seconds? Or medical tests giving instant accurate results at home? Maybe a completely self-sustaining smart home. What specific solutions do you envision these tiny, incredibly powerful devices enabling in the near future?
So, what does it all mean? Well, it means a huge amount of innovation is definitely on the horizon, pushing the boundaries of miniaturization, efficiency, sensitivity in ways we're probably just beginning to grasp. And you, our listener, hopefully you're now well equipped with the data, the insights to understand the sheer magnitude of it all. Keep those curious minds buzzing.